I am a creative, and I use AI every day to make my life better, and also produce amazing results for my clients. However, I also have learning disabilities. You see, I am an artist who can't draw. I'm a poet who can't write. I am a musician who can read music but can't play it at the same time. I have all this amazing stuff going on in my head, and I don't have the capacity to share it with anyone. At least that was the case before I learned how to leverage advanced technology in artificial intelligence. You see, I have always been an early adopter of technology. I had to be. It was the only way that I can keep up with my peers, both in school and later on professionally. In school, I was the first kid to bring a laptop to class. And keep in mind, this was in the early 90s, back before it was cool. And I had to. It was the only way I can keep up with the writing assignments. You see, I have this learning disability called dysgraphia, which makes it really hard for me to write. It's the fine motor skills thing. Basically, I can't do more than 2 or 3 sentences at a time. So while my classmates were writing their book reports, I was using PowerPoint. And what my reports lacked in substance, they made up for it with word art. It was awesome. When I got older, I figured I'd try my hand at DJing, even though I have this fine motor skill thing going on. To be a DJ, you gotta, queue up your records and mix, and it was too much, so I needed to find a workaround. So what I did is I took my entire music catalog, I digitized it, and we had the party jumping with an MP3 playlist. I was ahead of my time. AI has given me, or I should say advanced technology has given me the ability to compete with my peers who don't have learning disabilities. I even go a step further and say it gave me an advantage. I was computer nerd man. Now, I work in marketing. If I had to describe marketing to a 5-year-old, I would say that I use words, colors, pretty pictures to get people to think how I want them to think and feel how I want them to feel. Granted, that makes me sound a little Saturday morning cartoon villainy, but that's okay. I'll own it. If I had to ask an adult what a marketer was, they'd probably think something like Mad Men, advertising, slogans. But marketing is so much more than that. If you want to have an effective marketing campaign, you are going to need a strategist, an editor, a writer, but then you're going to need the editor for the writer. You're also going to need a graphic designer, you're going to need a web developer, you're going to need a keyword specialist, a pay-per-click manager, a social media manager, brand manager, yes, project manager, hold it all together. Now, personally, I'm used to wearing 1 or 2 of these hats, but as demands on productivity increase, while budget for headcount decreases, people are going to find they're going to have to wear more than 1 hat. Like a strategist who's good at making websites and videos. I'd like to introduce you to somebody. This is my friend, Chef Brandon Gaddy. Now, Chef Gaddy was a manager at a local chain restaurant. Now, he is still a manager at a local chain restaurant. However, he also has his own personal chef and catering company. Aside from preparing the food, he also prepared his own website, manages his own ads, runs his social, built his own brand guidelines. And he did it all by himself with no funding. And aside from the cooking, he doesn't have training in any of this. but he's doing it. And he's doing it successfully. So, just to recap, we have a guy who is running his own business on top of doing his day job, doing the jobs of 11 people, while still finding the time in his spare time to work on a webcomic. He's writing his own music, he's producing an animated series, and he's doing all of this by himself with no education. He's using AI. And he is paying less than $60 a year to do it. Companies are taking note. People like Brandon right now, cutting edge of technology. 5 years, he'll be average. See, I work for a tech company out of Boston, and we have AI as one of our products. But we also get to use it internally. And I love it. It makes the crappy parts of my job less crappy. I had to write a script for a video that was going to be shown to 10,000 people globally. Just asked AI to help me write it. As a matter of fact, AI helped me edit it. AI is enabling me, this wildly creative, learning disabled, college dropout, to do things I never would have imagined. And I'm doing it for a multi-billion-dollar tech company, and I'm doing it with people who 10 years ago never would have even heard of me. Against all odds, I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. And that's crucial. You see, typically, specialists are rewarded for being specialists. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. But the thing is that as this performance culture that we're leaning into, where companies expecting you to do more with less, specialists are going to have to find ways to expand their horizons using artificial intelligence. Marketing specialists, for example, so you have your graphic designers, used to just hand in artwork. Now they're expected to hand in artwork and have the text included with it that they generated with AI. A pay-per-click specialist who's used to establishing an ad budget or the location, now they're expected to generate the content as well as the imagery. A strategist managing different stakeholders, managing different projects, better manage to create some content too. And it's not just marketing. If you plan on being a successful professional, you're going to need to learn to leverage AI. Projects that used to take 20 people are going to be done with 2. Reports that used to take hours to generate be done instantly. Medical diagnoses, on demand and with pinpoint accuracy. If you're going to be a professional in the near future, you're going to want to learn to leverage AI. This is fine for people like me who are used to balancing disabilities with technology. But what about everyone else? The fact of the matter is that certain jobs are going to go away. Positions we're used to aren't going to exist anymore. And that's scary. But I do have good news. The good news is that as our workforce evolves, the workplace is going to evolve with it. New jobs are going to come to supplement this enhanced workforce, just like it always has with every major technological invention. Our kids are going to have jobs that don't exist yet. Just like I have a job that didn't exist when I was a kid. When I was a kid, if someone said digital marketer, you would think that they're selling Casio wristwatches. Now, sure, we can use AI to become better employees. We can use AI to, expand our wheelhouse around the office. But the thing is, we can do so much more. We can be like Gaddy. Let me tell you about MC Shan. He was a rapper who came out with a song in the 80s. It's called The Bridge, pioneering. And I had an opportunity to interview him, and he gave me some of the best advice I have ever heard in my life. To paraphrase, he said, you have access to the same internet major corporations do. They're not paying extra money to get more internet. The only difference between you and them is the time you're investing and your level of education. Not your college degree, your level of education. Now, I'd like to pivot on that message a decade later. You have access to the same AI tools. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to use them. The only difference between you and people who are excelling with AI is the time you're investing and the amount of education you have. Now, this is normally the part of the speech where it was like, yeah, AI, so awesome, help me write this speech. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, I wrote the speech because there's still room for human innovation. Artificial intelligence cannot compete with the human experience. It can't compete with our capacity for compassion and empathy, our ability to share hope, love. That's what it means to be human. AI can help us do what we love. Thank you.